Right? So the trick to doing those questions, there's two. One is you have to figure out if I'm asking you for a point or a sample, right? If we are doing, using, for example, right, that or that, right? Those are two z-scores. So that's for a single point, yes? We're mostly going to use this, but we did try to use this at the beginning of the semester. But you have this formula. And then second choice is that, right? So the first tricky question about this chapter is which one you're picking, this or this? Single point, and what's the weight that separates the heaviest from the lightest, right? And a sample, which is what's the probability that 20 men will have an average weight above this, or, right, sample. So that's the first part that is tricky. So once you figure out that, the chapter 3 and beginning of chapter 4 is relatively doable. Now, second part is you have to make a decision between, let's go. That and that. Those two have x bar minus e less than mu less than x bar plus e. This one has p hat minus e less than p hat plus e.
You said the first one was proportion.
That's proportion. Proportion, percentage, something out of something. Right? This is talking about, right? And the difference between those two, there's only one difference. We know sigma, we don't know sigma. Right? So once this is end of chapter 3. Trying to figure out this. And this is chapter 4. Trying to figure out those. You know how to get z alpha over 2. And that's the same for both. We get z alpha over 2 from confidence level. And you just look at the table. T alpha over 2 we just learned today. And that's isn't exactly difficult either. It's very, very similar, right? You just have to be a little bit more careful. P hat, Q hat, again, you have a sample. So you're going to have a proportion of successes, proportion of failures. So that's done. Size, easy. Size is easy to find because it's a sample of this many, or we had this many trials. So this is easy. All right. Easy, easy. We just have to figure out the top. What's the difference between S, sigma, and a P hat? Sample standard deviation, population standard deviation, sample proportion. And once you figure out the difference between those three, you can build the three confidence intervals that we want.